In today's society, fast fashion has become increasingly relied upon by consumers for an easy, convenient, and most importantly, cheap means of obtaining clothing. Unfortunately, the clothing industry remains riddled with unethical labor across its supply chains, despite some improvements being made. Companies such as Nike, H&M, and Gap are notorious for their immoral treatment of textile workers, the vast majority of whom work in dire workspaces situated in developing countries due to their extremely affordable labor and lack of health and safety regulations. Despite this display of exploitation being common knowledge to many, most consumers are still guilty of subscribing to this vicious cycle of immorality. Hi there, my name's Robbie. I'm the founder of Artec, and I'm proposing a new way in which we can educate, inform, and spread the issue of sweatshop labor to all shoppers. Our solution to this issue is AR, augmented reality. Allow me to explain. We've partnered up with Ethical Clothing Australia, an ethics accreditation body, to develop a mobile app which allows users to identify how ethical a retailer is using nothing but your mobile phone. Augmented reality will allow relevant information regarding labor ethics to be superimposed onto retailer storefronts in the click of a button. Let me show you what I mean. Firstly, the app is able to identify all nearby clothing stores by using geotags. Using the phone's camera function, a user can hold their finger on the surface of a storefront, allowing the app to recognize the surface to display the visualizations. A number of panels will then appear, all of which are fully interactable to display further information when clicked on. Each set of visualizations are to be personalized for every store. This information is collected through various databases on the internet and presented to the user in a simple and digestible manner. These visualizations aren't only facts and statistics either, but also provide unique imagery to strike the user. An example of this is by replacing the store's window with a virtual window showing what really goes on behind closed doors. An interesting visual metaphor. The app isn't strictly bound to physical stores either. Users can insert a website URL code for any clothing store they like and put it into the app, displaying the same visualizations on a digital platform. Let's talk about some of the other features the app has to provide. As well as informing the user on each store's ethical background and practices, it also provides an ethical score to give a more rounded measure of how ethical and unethical each store is. These stores are then compared to one another so that the user can better decide on which brands to shop at and which ones to steer clear from. The app also features a social page, allowing users to share their AR experiences with friends and family. This will aid in getting the issue of sweatshop labor back into the minds of the public so that big clothing brands will have no choice but to cater to the demands of the shoppers. The app also collects the information of each store that the user scans so that they can easily be revisited if they missed something. The overall aim for completing this project is to close the gap between these exploited stakeholders and the consumers. Many young shoppers are well aware that brands exploit workers with poor working conditions and severely low wages. However, these visualizations will make these stakeholders appear more tangible and help users reconsider where they purchase their next set of clothes. Back us today if you want to be part of making the world a safer and more ethical place to produce and distribute clothing.